welcome to Loot Shooter Weekly. It's Thursday night. I'm gamertag Burt Reynolds. With me, as always, the golden voice of gaming, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Negan Killjoy.
Hey, buddy. How's it going, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm a little tired. I'll just be honest.
Tired?
I'm a
Okay.
little tired, but I'm excited because we have some update to I think probably one of our most popular builds we ever did. Called the Siamese Snow Goblin. Yeah, maybe not necessarily in views, but I know in terms of people playing it and enjoying it has always been a fan favorite, and we've had a lot of success with it, using it.
Yes, we have.
But it's I
ran it for it felt like months. Months I ran it.
Yeah, I think it was my Zane build for probably eight months maybe. I only really took it off when the redistributor got a buff and we could run Chain Zane again, and only not because Chain Zane was necessarily a better option, but because I just hadn't run Chain Zane for the nostalgic feels.
There you go. That's the same reason I did it. I did the exact same thing. Put on Chain Zane, had some fun with it, but I'm looking forward to the new version of this one, and probably gonna start running this one again.
Yeah, and now I have the nostalgic feels for this one today. So.
Nice. All right.
There we go. So, but I made significant changes. Significant changes to the base build. It used to be we went down a little ways in the green tree on it. And it had been quite a while since I'd even played with it, if I'm totally honest. Because I don't main Zane like you do, and since you're our Zane main, rhymes. You're our Zane main. I don't really touch Zane all that often. And then, you know what I did? If you remember, I made another Zane build after this one. That was the double O Flint type of build, like the it was a 007 agent, like an agent build, and I ran that for a long time. And then I ran Chain Zane. So it had been a while since I touched this, and they made changes to Zane's skill trees many patches ago, and moved some of the items around. For example, they brought C and Red up into the middle. But also in the green tree, they took some of the skills that had been in the middle and they moved them all the way to the bottom. And without being able to get to those anymore, without going all the way to the bottom of the green tree, when I redid this, I'm not even using the green tree anymore at all. I'm actually using the purple tree instead. And so that tells you how long it's been since I updated this build.
It's been a while. It's been a bit. Yeah, no kidding.
Been a minute. So did a full update to this build. And then the second part of tonight, I'm going to put a build together on stream that I've not, I swear, and I'm being honest here, I have all the pieces for it. But I've not put it together yet at all. But something just conceptually in my head, it won't require me to change the skill tree at all, but conceptually in my head, I think because of a certain piece of gear that has been added to the game more recently, I think there might actually be a more powerful option to run it.
Oh, tasty.
Optional way to run it. But we're gonna first review, what I did with this, and I'll show you this, and we'll play with the base update to the build, the original build first, and then we'll mess around with that certain, I guess, the version 3. As I mentioned in the stream, I called it version 2, V2 and V3. So we'll mess around with that a little bit and see how that plays as well, just to get a feel. Is it as strong as I think it is? I think it will be, but it's all been theory crafting to this point.
All right. Cool. Looking forward to it. Do we want to talk about other shooters real fast, just out of some of the news? Well, we gotta do the important thing first as well.
I was gonna say,
looking forward to it.
I'm actually gonna put my controller down for a second when we talk about other shooters, and yes, why don't we kick back for the barstool segment of the show?
Nice. I'm not sure, but I think it's my turn to go first.
It is. It's your turn. So what Mexican lager are you having tonight, Negan?
I was out looking for one, and I I caved. I actually decided to go with an old friend, actually, this week. One that I've had before. I don't think I've done it on stream or not, but it's one of my favorites. It was one of those things, you're out looking at beers and stuff like that, and then the mood hits you, and I'm like, you know what? It's
Corona
not
Light.
terrible. Yeah, Corona Light. Yeah, margarita, that kind of thing. No, actually, it is 4 Point Brewing KSA, which is a Kolsch-style ale. So that's the one I'm doing. So it's not terribly hot. It's about mid 80s, low 90s last couple days. So it hasn't been terribly hot, but I've been really craving an old friend, and I think the KSA is the one that's going to do it. And it's in a big ass 20-ounce can too. It's huge. It's a huge can. It's a tall boy.
So
I
you're
don't know
gonna
I can be sloppy by the end of the night.
be useless by the end of the stream.
Very possible. So that's
Okay.
what I am doing, an old friend of mine. So KSA for 4 Point. And what are you doing this week?
I am doing. I've done a couple other beers from these guys. So Hopped Brewery in Huntley, Illinois, which is 10 minutes from my house, 12, 15, maybe 15 minutes. This is their Needles Hazy Eye. It's a New England style IPA. It is also tall boy, and this one is it's a heavy hitter. It's 7.1. It's actually expertly brewed with Mosaic, Amarillo, and some name I'm not going to pronounce hops, and they make really, really, really good. These guys make really good beers. So unfortunately, the price tag's covering up part of the description, but it says something like, "You're going to love the funky tropical notes in the Needles Hazy IPA, our slightly modified hazy version of our ever-popular New England-style IPA. This dank brew brings the funk with loads of citrus hops and that juicy mouthfeel that you want from your beer." So, good mouthfeel, apparently.
Apparently.
Favorite word, mouthfeel.
That's right. Exactly.
That mouthfeel.
I'll be interested to hear what you think of it, because it has mosaic hops and stuff like that. I tend to think those are the pine needly ones, but we'll find out. Find out when we get to the end of this what you're doing, what you think of it.
Yeah. But I can already tell you that mouthfeel. Smooth. I guess now I should probably pick my controller back up now that we've had the bar stool segment, and let's show you this build. Well,
let's get to the build.
Come along to Athenas. We'll show you this build. For those who don't remember or don't know the original build, it is actually, it's a clone build. It's a Sentinel and clone build. There was a period of time when clone builds were really popular. People ran them all different kinds of, with all different kinds of combinations. A lot of people, I think, ran shield and clone.
Yeah, I did for a little while. There's a lot of shield, a lot of hamster ball and clone.
Yeah, hamster ball and clone. I wanted to make one that was Sentinel and clone because I really like the Sentinel Cryo anointment, and I like to freeze things. It's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. So that was why I had and that was why I had originally put it together. And especially when you combine, there's a tier order to the elements in this game, right? So like a certain element is most effective against a certain thing, either armor or shields or flesh. Corrosive is most effective against armor, and cryo is the second most effective against it. So when fighting robots, when running through things like Guardian Takedown, this kind of build is very, very strong. Because you've got two elements that do work on armor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. Let's get into it, my friend.
Without further ado, I'm going to show you what I've done here. So, a couple things I traded out on the gear side. So, the original build had this exact light show. It's just a level 72 version of it. And it did have the Sandhawk. It had the shield, Marathon Old God with Sentinel movement speed. It had this exact same Seen Dead, 5 into Donnybrook, weapon critical damage, weapon damage, and action skill damage. The action skill damage buffs the clone. It had a radiation recurring hex, but I swapped that out for a cryo recurring hex. The original I ran with a Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge, but I traded that out this time around for an Icebreaker Victory Rush because I managed to pick one up that had cryo efficiency and cryo damage and movement speed on it. So
Nice combo.
Everything,
Okay.
everything's going to be frozen. So we're going to do extra damage to those frozen enemies, and you can run it with a pearl, mag size, fire rate pearl, but the movement speed here is valuable. Originally it had a flipper and it had a Hellwalker, and I've traded those out for a redistributor because for me, when I think Zane, I think redistributor. I just do. I'm not going to have a shield to shoot through, but it's just a good gun, and it's what I think of when I think of Zane. And then I traded out the Hellwalker for a butcher, but you could totally here's that flipper. Here's that Hellwalker. So you could totally do that. Other guns that you can run in here, you can definitely run the Globetrotter. If you want to run a launcher, I recommend that one in particular. I was running a RYNH, and the clone kills himself all the time.
That's too bad. Yeah. So it's also good when you're doing the Guardian takedown to have the Hellwalker on hand because of the phases where you're going after the creatures and stuff like that. So it's good to have that for the Guardian takedown, have it available for you. So it's a good gun to have.
Most certainly. Let me show you what I did with the skill tree. So I kept.
Okay, let's do this.
I kept the blue tree the same as I had it in the original build. So we went 5 into violent speed. Killing enemies gains increased movement speed. This affects stacks twice. We are going to be flying around. Just throw that there. Violent momentum. This buffs gun damage. It's 20% at default walk speed. At the speed we're going, it's like 100%. So we're going to be flying around the map, killing things, tons of gun damage. Cool hand, I put 3 into this. This gives us some reload speed after a kill. Helpful because we're going to go through a lot of ammo because you're going to see we're going to also get a lot of fire rate. Drone delivery, the Sentinel is going to occasionally drop a grenade. Only put 1 point into salvation. This gives us lifesteal, but we're going to use a lot of multi-pellet weapons and fast-firing weapons. And so we get quite a bit of lifesteal, actually, without putting anything more than that into it. See in red, we get a kill skill bonus. This effectively acts a lot like our See in dead comm, but it gives us a kill skill bonus on top of it. Violent violence, this is where we're getting some fire rate. We got 3 into this just because skill tree and I didn't put all 5 into it. Playing dirty, we get extra shot chance, so some extra projectiles. We went 5 of 5 into this. It's just nice to get those. When you get them, they're very good, especially on the Sandhawk that the clone is going to have. Good misfortune, this is going to give us action skill duration. We want our clone to be up all the time. As long as you're getting kills, the clone will never go down, and neither will your Sentinel. The second you stop getting kills, they're going to go down. And finally, death follows close. All of Zane's kill skills gain increased effect. We are going all the way down the red tree with our Digi-Clone. We've got 5 out of 5 into synchronicity. Whenever 1 or more of Zane's action skills are active, he gains increased gun damage. Again, we're going to have both of these active all the time, so we're always going to have that 40% damage. We've got the increased mag size for both us and our clone. We've got borrow time. This is going to give us action skill duration. Again, we want that action skill to be up for quite a while. We've got duct tape mod 3 into this. This allows our guns to basically throw a grenade. They're going to throw those hex grenades. You're going to see a lot of those hex grenades out. Donnybrook, we put 5 into this. This gives us additional gun damage and health regen. Quick breather. Whenever we swap places, we immediately begin recharging and restore health to the clone.
And you picked up 5 from your comm. Is that on purpose as well? Is that just the comm you're running for right now, or?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to run the same comm I was running before.
Okay.
So it's exactly the same as the original build. You could do some sort of split. I have a comm. I think. What is my other See in dead? I have one with a split in it. Yeah. This one also has some into violent violence. So
okay. So this
more
the one
chances.
you're running is massive on it. Okay, makes sense.
Yep. I didn't have one with another. I did not have one with another or with action skill damage that was not this one. Old you, during the fight for my life, I can destroy the clone and give myself second wind. Shocking how valuable that is in Guardian Takedown. So definitely got to run it.
Yeah, I run it all the time. That's almost default. If you run down one street, just get that all the time anyway.
Yeah. Supersonic Command's going to give me movement speed. Boom Boom Enhance. Whenever I summon my Digi-Clone, it consumes up to 3 grenades. For every grenade consumed, the Digi-Clone gains increased gun damage, max health, fire rate, reload speed, and Digi-Clone duration. Great one. And finally, Double Barrel. This, again, the clone is equipped with a copy of Zane's current weapon, my current gun. So I want to think about what gun I have on when I drop my clone, always. And when I drop my clone, I want to drop it with one of those last 2 slot guns, either the shotgun or the launcher, if I have a launcher, or the Sandhawk. The reason being, the whole purpose of the clone is the clone doesn't use any ammo. So you can put all those guns you wish you could run, but can't because you can't sustain the ammo on them. This is going to give my clone also increased gun damage. So I get a 25% buff to the damage of those really powerful guns. Basically means my clone is going to be my main killing mechanism. In the purple tree, I'm going with 2 into Renegade. After scoring a critical hit, I regen some health. I put 3 out of 5 into Deja Vu. Critical hit. Chance I'm going to get ammo back. I went 5 of 5 into Commitment. Zane gains increased gun damage and action skill cooldown rate. 30% gun damage, 30% cooldown rate. Man, I'm stacking up a lot of gun damage, right?
Yes, you are. You're bringing to the table. You're not leaving a whole lot on the table tonight.
Not leaving a whole lot on the table. This one's going to give me critical hit damage. Fugitive is going to allow me to sprint and shoot at the same time. Shockingly valuable in this build. Domino effect, I've got 3 out of 5 into this. This gave me reload speed, fire rate. And, we're already picking up fire rate other places, so my fire rate is going to literally be insane. So that is the build. And the only difference is last time we didn't have a purple tree, and last time we went down the green tree. Oh, but I was going to show you that. So in the green tree, it used to be that this Confident Competence, which good gun damage skill, used to be right here where Distributed Denial is. And they flip-flop places. So used to be you go down here and you would pick up Confident Competence, but you can't do that today. So no point in even messing with that green tree. So we are going to go, I'm going to have my Sandhawk on because that's the gun I want my clone to have when I start this whole thing out. I'm going to pop that clone down like that. I'm going to put out my Sentinel like that. And do some killing. Do some killing. You can see just how fast I'm flying around here. I am really flying around. And my clone is again, my primary role with this build is not actually to be the one doing the killing. My primary role here is actually to be the one who is distracting things while the clone kills them. So I basically just move around and try to get the kills, or not get the kills, get the clone to get the kills. So it's all about putting the clone in the right position. And if I'm able to put the clone in the right position, then the build is used most effectively. And then I can just draw fire, basically what I do. So again, I'm gonna put up the sand. Well, this time I'll put up the butcher. And goofing around with that, and because I can't see what I'm doing, got myself down. And that is a 6x butcher. So one that would be very hard to sustain ammo on. But that's why I get to put my clone up and he'll handle it. So there you go. That's the effective way to do that. And again, basically, if you're able to, you just literally put your clone in the best possible position you can put your clone in. And when you do that effectively, you end up really, 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 messing up enemies. So let me explain to you what I'm thinking about with regards to running this build in a different way real quick. I'll just give you a quick, a mitosis hex with shock damage. That's actually a nice piece. So what I was thinking would work in this without changing anything in the skill tree would be to flip from the clone over here to the mantis cannon. And my mantis cannon is going to get this guy on it. 2 charges are instantly returned. And so we're going to have a cryo cannon, and it's going to get charges back. Now, of course, that means we're not running Sentinel anymore, so we can't run Sentinel stuff. So what we're going to do here is we're literally just going to trade this out. I want to still have cryo damage, so I'm going to put that on with corrosive damage on it. I'm going to switch this to that. I come down here, and I have one of these with cryo on it. I have a Sandhawk over here that has corrosive damage on it next to mags. So I'm basically switching everything out for N2M. And I have a...
What did I miss? You're going N2M. What the heck, man?
I'm going N2M. You disappeared, man. You disappeared on me.
That's the game for you. That's what'll happen. Now, I was watching as being one of the audience members for a while, so it looks good. Looks like having fun. So go in Mantis Cannon.
So I'm going Mantis Cannon, and I'm going N2M, and the key here is right, the commuter revolter, well, the revolter period, where the action skills start, it is just the most broken. I would argue this is the most broken piece of gear in the game. 200% additional shock damage, and especially on Zane with a Mantis Cannon, that's 100% uptime. It's never not up. And it's going to apply to the clone, who's doing an insane amount of damage already. So I feel like we have to give this a try. And again, I didn't try this, so I have no idea if it works or not. Maybe an epic failure. But I feel like we at least have to try it. Because I think, in theory, this could be pretty potent. So I'm going to put on this,
use your Mantis Cannon.
Put on this guy, and I'm going to pop up my clone, and now I'm going to fire that, and sure enough, there goes my shield. And I'm not as fast as I was, because, I don't have all of that Sentinel speed that I had before, but I'm not, slow. I'm not, moving slow. And boy, howdy, does my clone gets the job done. And because I switched to all cryo weapons in this, I'm still freezing everything, which allows me to benefit from that icebreaker victory rush. It's not like I've lost that. I'm still turning everything frozen. And my Mantis Cannon puts out a lot of ice damage. We'll just go after him. Never mind. We're close. We're going to go after Trant. Just understand that he is a little bit resistant to cryo damage, so there'll be a little degradation against him. But maybe I'll just use I'll use a shotgun. It just basically means the Mantis Cannon's not going to damage him.
So this build is a little more situational than the Snow Goblin. But I mean, even the Snow Goblin would lose a little bit against him as well.
I was going to say, the Snow Goblin, you lose quite a bit against Trant with the Snow Goblin, actually. I've experienced that. One thing's for sure, though, you're not losing anything against these guys. I'll tell you that much.
Definitely not.
Gotta wait for him. I'm gonna get my Sandhawk out here. As soon as this guy comes back.
Clone Sandhawk. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Tasty goodness. Tasty goodness. Yeah, that is one thing that you do have to remember, and you mentioned ahead of time, was the fact that you do have to know what gun that you have active when you pop your clone out, because you want the high powered, high damage guns.
Hi, Tron.
So even resistant to cryo, still put it down pretty quickly.
That was very effective, I might add. I don't know what else to say. I think that's pretty effective. I would love to see, I don't know. I would love to see this one through a good Malon or Guardian takedown, because, again, my gut tells me this is probably going to be about the strongest option for the Snow Goblin. Now, don't have the Sentinel Cryo, right? So the snow aspect of it's a little less present. So in name, it loses a little something. Again, I didn't have to change the skill tree at all. Like, it's not a change of the skill tree. All I changed was one skill, and I put on the Revolter. So it's literally the exact same build. And you can see once I fire my cannon, I'm moving pretty fast. You get moving. So I feel like it is not missing much. It's not missing much in the damage from the rest of the skill tree proposition. So I'm liking it, Negan. I think it's cool. I think it's a fun build.
Looks like it might be fun. And we can take it through a takedown real fast. We'll see what happens.
We will save that for another time. Probably when we end up having to.
We don't have technical difficulties?
When we're not having technical difficulties, we can do that because, because I'm hoping they get the smoothness string cleaned up in this game. I mean, nothing like a patch introducing a whole bunch of glitches.
Yeah, they clustered something for sure.
Yeah, and they finally did. One of the guys, again, the Discord we belong to, the Angelic and Beastly Creatures. One of the guys on their English units, who's I believe probably watching, he posted a video. or a little screenshot. They put it on Twitter that they're aware of the problem, and that if you're having it, you should submit a ticket so they understand it and understand the scope. And so it's not lost on them. They get it. They know they broke something. It's just frustrating. And of course, there was no hot fix or patches this game today, which I was kind of hoping was going to happen, but it didn't. But they know there's something wrong, and it's certainly made worse when you're playing in a group, and so that sucks. So this is the clone using the redistributor on him, and it's still strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. A little weaker, it's taking a little bit longer to take him down, but still pretty good. Still doing some work.
Yeah. But you're talking about not even a heavy weapon.
Ooh.
He done exploded there. So that's the build. And obviously skill tree is exactly, the red and blue trees are exactly the same as the last time we did the build. They haven't changed at all. The only difference here is that we've gone again into the purple tree, and I'll flash these up real quick. So, if you're looking for them, there's the blue tree all the way to the bottom of the capstone. There's the red tree all the way to the bottom of the capstone. Skipped the green tree this time and went down the purple tree, which again is allowing us to use that mantis cannon in this different loadout. These are the weapons. You can either run them with Sentinel Cryo, and you run a Sentinel, and then you would run the Old God Shield. Or you can run them with the Mantis Cannon and then go N2M. And, you could do N2M Cryo. I did N2M Corrosive because they were already Cryo guns, these ones. And This one I have N2M Cryo on it, and this one just has more corrosive damage. And, Seeing Dead Calm, Icebreaker Victory Rush, and that Cryo Recurring Hex just to help freeze everything. I think it's strong, Negan. I like it. I'm having fun with it. So,
and it's good that you found options with it too. That you have, like you said, the Mantis Cannon if you like shooting that, and have an ASE, and the Sentinel if you like that.
Yep, exactly.
Now, did you go down the purple tree because you had the extra seven points now that we can mess with, or would you have skipped the green tree anyway? It's 7
I would have skipped the green tree anyway because I couldn't get down to that skill that I wanted to get.
Okay.
So no point, no point in doing that. If you can't get there. So I totally skipped it. But getting down that purple tree further is definitely of value. And again, this build is old enough that when I put it together, there was no purple tree.
That is correct. You are correct.
Options are a nice thing. So
there's
that.
Nice.
Well, man, how was your beer?
As expected, it was good. As expected, it's going quickly. So I'm about to have a problem of having, it tastes like more. So there's always that problem with this one. But no, it was good. It's very, very refreshing, very smooth, very light. It's a good, like I said, that was what I was looking for. Kind of nice, 80-degree, 90-degree weather we're having. So I want a nice light drinker. So it hit the spot for me. It's still going to do it. How about yours? How was yours?
It's good. This is gonna take me a while. I can't rush through that one. It's delicious. It's not too pine needly, which I know is what you were thinking. It's a heavy hitter because it's got a lot of malt in it. It's a thick beer.
That sounds pretty good then. I like malty beers.
Yeah. It tastes great. It's just it's not something like you want to be drinking it too fast. It reminds me a little bit of why I like stouts, right? Like it's a little heavier, but you take your time with it.
Exactly.
And so I'm taking my time with it, but it's delicious, man. It really is. Appreciate everyone stopping by. Thank you to those people who came by and viewed, and hopefully we'll be doing a build giveaway of this, probably this version, the V3, in the next week or so. So, our, again, Discord, Angelic and Beastly Creatures, we do our giveaways there, typically, midweek, at some point. So we'll probably have this one up for grabs soon. And I appreciate you all stopping by, and I'm still going to let Negan sign us out for the night, even though he's not actually present with us at the moment.
I can't emote my way out of this one, but no, it's all good.
No,
so good builds,
you can't.
Good builds, good variety. I like it. I like the options, and since I'm a Zane main, I'm always looking for options. So I'm kind of glad you came up with 2 different ones this time. So, and to everybody else, thanks for joining us, and we will see ya.